Hi everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. We are having so much fun. We're doing Seamstress Quilt Along and I hope you're enjoying it. If you're just joining us in and you wanted to start, we're working with our Seamstress collection, our Secret Stars collection, and we're working with this pattern called the Seamstress. We have finish the center star. We have made 80 of those beautiful 8-point star for our second border and another border right here. So we got all of those done. Remember to do it. Remember to press it nice. We're not sewing things together yet. We are preparing all of the components, and in our last two videos we're gonna do applique and sew everything together. Are you in? I hope you join us in. So today, super fun and simple. We are making a cute little border. Is right here, this border right here, made from quarter square triangles. So what I did is I prepared for you two ways to do this border. Okay, so let's see. You can pick either one. It's gonna work great. Let's do it. You're gonna cut quarter square triangles, and they're cut from as squares twice diagonally, because quarter square triangles have bias right here and a straight grain right here. If you worry about your 1/4 inch seam allowance, make your cutting a little bit bigger, because then it gives you a room for trimming. Okay, when I make quarter square triangles, I cut them exactly as the pattern, but then I'm using a little bit smaller 1/4 inch seam allowance, a shy 1/4 inch seam allowance. That allows me to have room for trimming and making sure that everything looks beautiful. And believe me, with this many bias, sometimes things don't work right. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna start by taking two quarter square triangles, put them right sides together and sew them. As soon as I finish sewing them, I'm gonna open it up and push the seam allowance in one direction. I'm also gonna go ahead and sew this side, and I just want to show you this. This is the easiest way to think about it. When you have a unit like this, turn it this way, and then you can place those right on the top. Zoom, 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 chain sew. Yes, some 200 some of those. Now once you finish sewing, you're gonna remember that all the seam allowance have to go in the same direction. So you can push it towards the red, and in this case, push it towards the right, towards your right hand. As soon as you do that, notice that I have mine finished. Do you see my seam allowance is pushed towards the right side? As soon as I finish, I'm gonna go ahead, place them right sides together, just like this, right sides together, match it up, sew right here, and then I can open it up just like this. Open that loose center. Let me show you. Open that loose center right here, and all my seam allowances are spinning the same direction, and I have a beautiful unit for a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As soon as you finish, you want to go ahead, place your ruler, and I like the side of my ruler when I have it right here, this nice line. And actually, you know, for this low unit, let me use my small 4.5 by 4.5 inch ruler. That is going to be so much easier to hold it. I know my unit needs to be 2.5 by 2.5. I'm finding the middle. The middle is at 1 1/4. Okay, I'm gonna place my middle with the center seam. I'm gonna center things up. I match, then I'm gonna go ahead and trim it and trim it. Beautiful. And I already trimmed that first side, so it was easy for me to match things up. So right there, but always think about the center point. Match all your points right here at 2.5, and voila, you have a beautiful unit. Keep going, keep going. Let me look at it. Oh, you only have to make 100 of them. Perfect. I'm gonna see you next week, and I hope you'll be holding in hand 100 of those wonderful units. There are 4 units 4 of those for the corners where the red is right here on both of those triangles. So pay attention, you only have to make 4 of them, and I would love you to do it. Now I promise you to show you another way to make them a little bit faster way. So guess what? You can do this. You can take 2 squares, and the measurements on the squares are exact the same size that I ask you to cut your quarter square triangle. So they're 3 1/4, okay? 3 1/4. I'm gonna take 2 squares and I'm gonna place them right sides together. I'm going to draw a line right here. I'm gonna sew it on a left and a right side of the line, staying shy 1/4 inch seam allowance from the line. Why shy? Because I want a room for trimming. If you want it exactly, then go ahead and use regular 1/4 inch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut right on that line. Look at this. I just cut it right on the line. And now I have 2 half square triangles. I'm gonna make sure that I always push my seam allowance towards the same directions. Always push my seam allowance towards the same direction right there. Okay, now I want to go ahead and place my pieces right sides together. In this case, I don't want to do that because they're the same color. I need a different color combination. Oh, look at this. Coincidence, I already have a different color combination, and I'm actually using my light, and then I did a second triangle set where I had a light with a pink. Because remember, you need a pink, okay? So right there, you're gonna do some that are just light and some that you're gonna do light with a pink. Then you're gonna go ahead and again, draw a line, sew on a left and a right, and look at this. When I cut right there, open it up, voila, I have my perfect unit. All that I have to do is open the center. Just remember, I have the traditional directions in a pattern. For these directions, you have to remember that you need some of the pinks to make as well. So don't do just lights. You're gonna want some of the triangles to be in pink. So pay attention to that. And I can't wait you try this technique. And you know, sometimes when I do things, I like to use different techniques, so that way I do a little bit traditional way, some this way, see which way works the fastest for me. But in the end, it's all about enjoying it and making beautiful pieces to be ready, set, go for your lovely border right here, your little border around the quilt. If you remember and spin all of your seam allowance the same way on all of the pieces, it is going to be super easy when you have to sew them together into a row, because look how nice the locking. So chain sewing, paying attention that your seam allowances are spinning the right way is going to make this project wonderful and exciting for you. And I am so thankful you joined us in, and I can't wait to see you next week. So remember, 100 of those little quarter square triangle units and 4 corners. And I can't wait to see you next week for our next border for this beautiful Seamstress Quilt Along.